So what in the world is happening with these cards? Make sure you guys smash the and grab out of that Stardust Cypher Dragon button. So you guys don't miss out more on kind of. Now this has turned into a very hilarious thing out here. Stardust Cypher Dragon has started to rise up in price out here. Now, if you've watched the Saturday Duel series, you probably have seen our Blue Eyes special that we've been cooking out here, which is using Primite cards. You know, you're using the Blue Eyes pieces to put up a pretty big board, but you're also going to notice that in a lot of those end boards, you're going to see a Crimson Dragon being involved, because two Blue Eyes Spirit Dragons is the Blue Eyes level 12 plus a Crimson Dragon, and then the Crimson Dragon can bounce off of it, and you make Stardust Cypher Dragon. Now, the reason why you make the Stardust Cypher Dragon is Cypher Dragon prevents those nice little two cards, the Stardust Cypher and itself, from both being popped through the Blue Eye Spirit Dragon's negative downside BS, you know, I'm going to drag you down to hell, no fun allowed thing. So the first time your card effect or cards will be destroyed by card effects, they are not. And then it's basically a negate, but it's a different style of negate. It negates and then you can destroy any card on the field, which I really, really like that, actually. The fact that I can negate and then destroy a different card is really, really good. All right, and this also means that if I'm making the Stardust Cypher Dragon, then I don't have to worry about my True Light technically being blown up and I'm just going, oh shit, they're in my field, you know? And that's why you've been seeing this card kind of go up in price right now, is because people are looking to the future of Blue Eyes and going, hey, you know, 2025 is literally right around the corner. You know, people are going, hey, you know, we need to test the waters with this. Yes, you do need to start testing those waters. You need to start getting ready for what's to come. So, yeah, Stardust Cypher Dragon on the up and up right now. Hope you got yours. Magical Musketeer Max. This one shouldn't really be too crazy to anybody, because the whole normal summon a Magical Musketeer, go into Max. Max can special summon up or, you know, do some searching. I don't know what build you're playing, all right? You might be playing a more Magical Musketeer base out here, where you're getting all of these extra spells and traps and things, or maybe you're special summoning monsters. All right, it really just kind of comes down to how you have constructed the deck and what optimized ratios are going to come down for you. So then you're going to, you know, after Max comes down, well, congratulations, suddenly you're able to go full Fiendsmith combo. I don't know why they made a Link 1 into a Link 1. You know, it's a little bit horrifying that design has led to this point that we're able to do this, but that's what you're looking at right now. So Magical Musketeer Max has been, it's a pretty cool bridging point, I guess, for what you're able to do with this. And if you've got a lot more people out here kind of looking at the Magical Musketeer Max thing and they're like, hey, you know, like, it's a one of, but why is it going up in price? Because all the Magical Musketeer stuff was already kind of stupidly expensive back in the day. Max does not have a reprint. I assume we will see a reprint on Max eventually, but everybody's like, well, you know, the whole Magical Musketeer core was cheap. You know, there was also just people that never bought Maxes back in the day, or they bought Maxes and they're currently not in the game. So a little bit shorter of a supply of those. But if you're playing anything with, you know, the Fiend box, and you're like, hey, you know, Starfire, you know, is kind of cool little combo line with this, you know, or even if you're trying to extend out some of the combo stuff with this, yes, you do want to have a copy of Max. Good news is you don't need more than one. Maybe you do need two depending on what you're doing, but it depends on the deck build. Quarter Century Rare Stratos. This card has been one of the most interesting things to kind of follow in the market. Obviously, you have a Starlight Rare and you have an Ultimate Rare. So you've got alternatives available for the higher rarity, but the collector's market is not letting QCR Stratos cool down. I've actually seen this card. I think the low end has been 45, and I think I've seen a little bit of a bounce up to about 55. The card likes to fluctuate in between there, and literally, I feel like every week, Stratos is kind of bought out. You know, I also don't know how long the repopulations of the Stratos will keep coming, because the one thing we were looking at with Bonanza was there is technically a ceiling to how many of these quarter centuries do exist within the market. And especially if more people go, hey, you know, I want to collect this, then you've got to worry about the supply starting to dwindle. So if you've got, you know, hero players out here that want 3 of these things, then technically, once quarter century is done, the invisible hand is just taking more and more of these off the market. So I'm not surprised to not only see hero players doing this. You got to remember, the hero community is one of the most beloved communities in this game. They love their max rarity hero cards, man. They go crazy to pick these things up, all right? I have a friend who has spent thousands of dollars on max rarity hero stuff. They understand the pain that, you know, making sure, you know, they have everything that they want in heroes. To be fair, though, I guess the argument now becomes, is the ultimate rare? Is the Starlight rare? Or is the quarter century the higher rarity? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but the market is telling us a different story out here, with Stratos being literally chain destroyed every other week. So, I guess, man, if you guys want to go crazy on picking up Stratos, go nuts. Genroku. Now, I wanted to put this onto a spotlight out here because Genroku's, actually, most of this has fallen down pretty strongly, actually. With Tenpai entering into week 1 out here, and we've already seen success with Tenpai, all of those price decreases across the board has kind of put Tenpai back into a, do I need to rush out and do I need to go get a Tenpai core? I don't think you need to rush out and get a Tenpai core, all right? Tenpai is no longer the ignorant OTK machine that you were used to seeing last format, you know, where they go, yay, I'm gonna blow you out of the water. And no, that's not the case anymore. You have to kind of time things a little bit more correctly. You have to put a little bit more board breaker control into the deck, and you gotta, you know, your hand traps have to be a little bit more timed to make sure that, you know, your one Pydra can touch down, or your one Chandra, and you can clear out the game. You only have one Kaiman, one Chandra. Both of those cards are incredibly important for doing the OTK, but as soon as you get to your battle phase and you're able to start getting in that damage, about 95% of the decks in the current game aren't going to be able to really, you know, deal with that. And that's why, like, I want to put Genroku and some of the Tenpai stuff into the spotlight out here, because after the success of the deck this weekend, I mean, it didn't have overwhelming numbers, but it was enough that people are looking around at Tenpai again going, huh, you know, like, maybe this deck isn't completely dead. You got to keep a spotlight on this stuff, and you got to go, huh, okay, so do I want to pick up Genroku's? Do I want to pick up Tenpai? Do I want to, you know, still have this deck so I can play the game? The answer is only if you feel that you want to be a Tenpai main and you already have Mulcharmies. Because Mulcharmies are a pretty impactful part of this deck's development, kind of going forward out here. But alas, with competitive results and Mulcharmies and Genroku's and Tenpai, keep an eye on this. It's definitely interesting. Then we have the Photon Starliege Blast Dragon. And I'm not going to lie to you, the fact that this card has had as much of a wall as it has had out here every single week, and the wall is finally evaporating on TCG Player, I'm really, it's kind of funny to see. I still don't like this card. I don't really think that, you know, it's all that broken, but you've already got, the lines in the sand are deteriorating, and some of these have already been hitting, what, like $7? Yeah, just looking at this right now. I'm seeing 7s on some of these, which is stupid. And you know what the purpose of this card is, right? It's literally just, while this exceeds summon cards on the field, your opponent cannot target monster you control 2,000 or more attack with card effects, and they can't be destroyed by card effects. So in Ryzel, you're basically putting this up to make sure that, you know, your Duo Drive and your Dreadnader aren't going to get cheesed by some of the BS that's running around. Now, he himself is 1,800, so he can get blown out of the water. That's 100% viable, but his purpose is to sit here, look pretty, and distract you from the other problems that are running around on the board. Technically, he can do it, actually. It's a little bit annoying, but his purpose is to do that. And these have been kind of floating up in price. It's kind of stupid, actually, considering, you know, we've got blueberries, the green berries, and the Duelist League colors underneath the rainbow for these things, but this community loves, I guess, just doing the most random things. So overall, a lot of interesting movements this week, say the least, but Stardust Cypher is expected, to say the least. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out.
Patrons!
Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.